Hello, middle school French horn players. Today we are working on measures 33 to the end of air and dance, so let's get warming up. This 8-note full octave scale might be a little hard, but you know, that's something we're cracking at every week. Focus on tone, focus on just duration of note, focus on lung capacity. I'm working right here along with you on that. It's not something that I'm very inherently good at on French horn. It's one of my least favorite or hardest brass instruments to play. It's one of my favorite to listen to. But 80 beats per minute, 8 beats on, 8 beats rest, all the way up the scale. Is our first note. 1, 2, ready. Good deep breaths from here on. Almost there. Last note, here's your high F. There you go, right? So, when you are working with that, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but I know high notes might be a little harder for you. Drop your jaw and bring it back. So when you go for the high notes, I always push my jaw back and overhang my top lip, and it makes it easier for me to hit the high stuff. It is harder to hit that stuff. In the piece we're playing today, though, we also need that low range. So what we're going to do is walk our way down from our F to our low C, walking down the scale. So F, E, D, C. 8 beats each. 2, ready. There you go. Try not to waver on that bottom note so much. That's one thing that's really hard on French horn, is not shaking when you're on that lower end of it. Try to keep those notes strong, steady, and starting clean. So flip open to your music. I will assume you have tuned at this point, so we don't have to spend time tuning. You will find your first note, which is a D here at measure 33. We will practice with a metronome. I'm going to pull up a metronome on my phone, turn on my speaker, because the piece here goes to about 80 beats per, or 100 beats per minute, right? It says allegro. Allegro is about 100 beats per minute. That is too fast to practice with at the very beginning. The beginning of the piece is slower, obviously. So we're going to take 33 and bring it down to 60 beats per minute, which is a beat a second, just to practice. Other things to remember, it is E flat in this piece. And flipping open to the fingering page from your book, Let's make sure we can get that E flat comfortably. Your E flat is your second finger. So instead of that is your E, just your middle finger is E flat. Can also be 2 and 3, but that's a little weaker. So just your middle finger for E flat. Everything else remains the same as what you're used to. Starting at measure 33. Find your first note. 1, 2, ready, go. Flip over the page. I was hoping that would be more graceful. So I'll start at measure 41 because it's G, G, F. 2, 41. Okay, starting at measure 73. That page flip did not work for me. 1, 2, ready, go. So that is the whole piece. Now I apologize for the page turns and stuff. This will obviously be easier for you if it's in front of you and it's rotated vertically. This week is not about having it perfect. It is about having a handle on all of the notes in all of the places. A couple places where automatically you know it's going to be a little bit harder is measure 47, that statement of a B flat, two G's, an E flat, and a G. Is leaping around a lot. Also, the rhythmic phrase of a quarter note, quarter rest, quarter note, quarter rest that happens almost all the time. That you need to treat every quarter note the same. You can't just do staccato. Right? You have to treat every quarter note with the same length. It does not say staccato. It does also not say tenuto. So these notes should be exactly one beat. By the time the next click of the metronome happens, you should be off that note. Right? So 49 is... Right? Not. Give the note enough time to breathe. Right? And when it's a half note going on to the next measure, like 52 to 53 there on the third line, you should treat that as if you shouldn't breathe between that F and that D. If it is directly connected to another note, do not breathe between them. So I'm going to flip it vertically just so I have a better chance of reading it and doing these page flips properly. And I'm going to play it with the recording. You do not have to play it with the recording this week. Your homework is to play it at 60 beats per minute with a metronome from measure 33 to the end of the piece. Now that sounds like more than last week. It is not. This piece repeats a lot, especially for you. So you do not have to worry about too much work on this. There are really only 3 distinct sections of playing. So just so you know, the recording flips to measure 33 at 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I'm going to put it a little bit behind that so I can lead up to it and hit 33 right on the nose. So that's something that's obviously going to get better as we do more of it. But if you can get it up to speed, that's great. It's not your homework this week, though. 60 beats per minute with a metronome is. 57 is going to be a bit of a stretch, right, notes-wise. We go up to that high D that you love so much. drops the full octave to the exact same thing on the bottom. That section is going to be the hardest part, I think, for you to practice, because it switches your extreme ranges. On the high end, don't be afraid to let your tongue relax. You don't need to tongue everything on the high range on French horn. It breaks it up enough for you. On the lower end, use your tongue more. So if I tongue everything at 57, I'm cracking a lot more than if I just use my lips to make the changes. The obvious exception is if you have two of the same note in a row, like the B flat, C, D, you have to tongue between the same note. So. Then on the bottom end, use your tongue more. That's the hardest part for me, but I know your top end is something you worry about. So spend a lot of time practicing, especially between 57 and 65. That is going to be, if you can nail that section, that'd be great. Don't focus too much on dynamics and articulations this week, just get the notes down, right? That's what I want. So your homework is measures 33 through the end, recorded at 60 beats per minute with a metronome. If you have any questions, email me, Gchat me, Hangouts, let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Talk to you soon.